Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. This one goes out to the locals who live in the French Quarter. So tonight, I had a bad night at the Lalaurie Mansion. First, I almost get hit on the corner by a guy who is driving by and doesn't believe in stop signs. And literally, he just comes directly at me. And of course, I'm like, dude, stop sign. And his response was, fuck you, which is a lovely coherent response to, the fact that I'm walking through the street and you almost hit me. But then I go down a few more steps to do my story, and it's a bit further away than I like to be, but it was a busy night. There wasn't any other option. And I gather my group in, and literally right as when I'm starting, I notice that one of my guests has pulled his shirt up over his nose, and I'm like, oh, y'all smell something I don't. He's like, yeah, the trash can smells rancid. I'm like, okay, cool. So we move another car down. And I start the story and everything's going great. And it's a bit of a problem because I thought the people who were walking by on the other side were walking by, and it turns out no, they were stopping. So they got loud, which meant I had to get loud. And then there were groups passing by. And of course, it got loud sometimes. But I tried my best to keep the volume down, as usual. And near the end of the story, and here's the infuriating thing, I had one line left in the story. And I look up and see someone has walked up and joined my group. So as usual, I pause and go, oh, hi, sir. Are we blocking you? Because at that point, I really thought he was trying to get by. And he says, no, I live here and I hear y'all out here all the time. So I decided to come out to listen. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Because objectively, if you live in front of where I'm talking about or at any of the houses, I'm going to let you listen to my story. And I was like, okay, sir, just step forward because you're currently blocking the sidewalk and people need to get by. And before I can even finish saying that, he interrupts me to say, yeah, I live here. I hear y'all all the time. And I decided to come out and listen to you out here. And I was like, once again, that's cool. That's fine. Just step forward so you're not blocking. And again, he interrupts me. And this happens like 3 times in a row with me consistently trying to say, just step forward so you're not blocking the sidewalk. And at this point, other groups are trying to get by and clearly cannot. And so I'm getting a little bit more strident of, God, sir, you need to stop blocking the sidewalk. And finally he stops and screams, what do you want me to do? To which I respond, step forward so you're not blocking the sidewalk. To which he screams, blocking the sidewalk? I live here. And I'm like, cool. Then he calls me something rude and I move. At which point he throws up his arms looking very pleased with himself, which shows me right away his entire goal was to get me to move. And here's the thing. If you want me to move, I'm going to teach you a simple phrase that will help you get me to move. It is, could you please move down a little bit? You're bothering me. Or, hey, could you be a bit more quiet? I'm trying to watch a movie. Or, hey, I'm sorry, I live here and it's been a loud night. Would you mind moving? To which, if I have a chance, if there is anywhere else in the world, I'm going to move for you. And if I cannot move, I will decidedly get quieter. I will move my guests until they're standing directly on top of each other so that I can be quieter. But if you just scream incoherently at me, I'm not going to know what the fuck you want. And even if I did know, I'm not going to give in because you're being an asshole. And I understand. You live there. It's your house. But on the other side of that, you're the one that chooses to live not just in one of the biggest tourist cities in America, not just in the biggest tourist neighborhood in one of the biggest tourist cities in America, but on the same block as one of the most notorious haunted houses in the entire damn country. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.